Namaste. Good afternoon to one and all present here, and wish you all a very, very warm welcome to this vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference, South Gujarat Startup Seminar. So, we are here today to explore a powerful theme powering India's next growth engine innovation, industry, and sustainability. I am Tejasri Shah, and I'll be hosting this whole session for you today. So, over the next couple of hours, we're going to explore a lot of themes and we're going to hear from founders, industry leaders, and ecosystem enablers who are not just talking about the future, but they're actually building it. Technical errors. Please bear with us. I mean, it's there in our title, innovation, right? And then, after innovation, what do we need? Right. Sorry, the mic is too loud for me to laugh. But yes, valuation, of course. But to get valuation, you need something before that, right? You need scalability. And, right. So, let's first take the first topic. Let's talk about the backbone of scale, that's industry. So, startups bring agility, but it is industry that brings reach, infrastructure, and the ability to scale ideas into impact. This session explores how these two worlds, that is innovation and scalability, can come together meaningfully. I would like to invite Mr. Mayur Shah. He's the executive director of Suzuki on stage. He brings over 27 years of experience in Indo-Japanese business collaboration as a part of the founding leadership at Suzuki R&D Center India. He is driving mobility innovation and sustainable carbon neutral initiatives aligned with India's growth vision. Mayur bhai, off to you.
માઇક હા મૂળ હું અમદાવાદનો સુરત મારા કાકા રહેતા હતા. અહીં આવું મને બહુ જ ગમતું હતું. ઉનાળામાં કેરીથી માંડીને એવરી નાઇટ યુઝ ટુ બી અ ગુડ ફૂડ ફન એરિયા કાઇન્ડ ઓફ સબ. સુરત ઓલવેઝ બ્રિંગ્સ અ હેપી મેમરી ફોર મી. 17 વર્ષ હું જાપાન રહ્યો. ડોન્ટ આસ્ક મી વાય. આઈ એન્ડેડ અપ રાઇટિંગ માય થીસિસ ઇન જાપનીઝ. પણ આજે આપણા જાપનીઝ રાજદૂત ગુજરાતીમાં બોલ્યા અને મને થોડી શરમ આવી ગઈ કે વાય વી આર નોટ સ્પીકિંગ ઇન દેટ. સો આઈ ટ્રાય માય બેસ્ટ ટુ મિક્સ ઇટ અપ. મારી આખી જિંદગી ગઈ પહેલાં R&Dમાં. લેટર ઓન આઈ વોઝ ઇન ફાઇનાન્સ. Just before I took this, it's not connecting. Just before I took this role, uh, I was heading a fund, a Japanese fund, and we were investing in. I need to go here. Okay, time is very short, so let me just carry on. I'm very sorry it's not coming up. I don't know what's the issue. Can I get a mic? Can I get a mic? Things working today? Hello. I think we need a lot of innovation here. Charity definitely begins at home. So I represent Suzuki R&D India. Most of you know Suzuki. Maruti Suzuki is one famous name, obviously. And we have been here for last 43 years in India. The reason to start a new company called Suzuki R&D India was a simple question. What do we do for next 40 years in India? And it drive down to three pillars on what we plan to do. One of our pillar, one of the division is making software that will run the car that's based out of Pune. The other two divisions are alternative fuel. And here we are looking at the competitive advantage of India, and there is a massive amount of biogas factories that we are going to put up. This is not just traditional one, but with the high tech where you can extract more gas, or even your the fertilizer is also very valuable in terms of that. And the third division that I head, which is alternative mobility, and we are using the infrastructure mobility as one of the keyword to help Indian economy. I think now I need this screen to show you. Otherwise it will just I'm really sorry. I need to show this, otherwise whatever I say won't make any difference. Let me do some. This is very important because I wanted you to see this picture. You want me to hold it for you? Yeah, if you can, somebody. I'm sorry for this, but so the middle one that you're seeing is a platform that Suzuki has been selling it as a senior car in Japan for 40 years. We have got hundreds and thousands of these pieces sold. This is not just this is something an OEM grade kind of a machine that goes through all the tests. And since this was meant for a elderly population to ride, it has been built extremely rugged. What we did is, when we looked at the infrastructure mobility, we decided to bring this engineering marvel into a different form factors. One of them is, in Japan, it's called Mitra. We are still looking for a better name. Are you sure? Okay. Put it. Huh? One of them is called Mitra. In India, we are still looking for the. It's fine. This piece is 2 feet by 3 feet in width and length. It's just 50 centimeter of height. But such a small piece can carry up to 200 kg. It can tow up to half a ton. More importantly, it can be autonomous, it can be semi-autonomous, it can be operated across distance. So imagine a narrowest place which is hazardous for humans to go. And I'll later on come to the use case that we're working with one leading startup from Ahmedabad, how Suzuki as a large company is collaborating with startup to bring efficiency at the end sector. Are you okay? થઈ જશે? I need to be back. થશે? તો કરી કાઢો. સમય નથી, મારે જવાનું છે. અને આ તો બધી થઈ ગઈ છે. નહીં, ઓલું હવે એડીમાં આવશે. ભાઈ સમય નથી, સીએ બાજુ છે મારી. Next one. Now, this is where we want to contribute. This is not just one more product that we want to come and we want to sell it in India. But what we thought is India is in the middle of a gold rush. Why do I say this? When the economy grows from 6% to 10%, fundamentally there are three things important. One is the inward and outward capital that comes into the country. You need high-skilled labor. Both sides, India with the growth rate is attracting, as well as we have a human capital. But the third and most important thing is the same amount of people, same amount of money, same amount of the area, how do you produce more? And that is the condition for going towards the 10% growth. And that's where we want to contribute with our various micro-mobility platform. Next. We signed MOU in 2024 with IES, which is International Automotive Center of Excellence in under Industries Commissionerate Office in Gandhinagar. And the reason for choosing Gujarat among all the other states was three. This is my 10th Vibrant, to be honest. I've been participating since I met Prime Minister, then Chief Minister in 2007 in Japan. I was very impressed with the whole way, Gujarat was looking. Vishwanu Sauthi Shrestha Mare Gujarat Ma જોઈએ kind of. And it was not just a slogan, it was meant in his action. Since 2009, I have not missed any Vibrant. I mean, luckily for that, and it's extreme privilege as well. It's not about event. It's actually an intent and statement. Every 2 years, you have to face the same investor again. The government also has to be prepared for the policy. And that is what something very significant about these events, where there is a policy, there is a consistency. So when you say it's an investor or business-friendly state, it's a system that is in place, kind of. Second is the startup-friendly policies. Unfortunately, I didn't have time later on, but when I was part of the venture capital fund, I was on part of a panel where Gujarat government was giving very lavish grant to many startups. So I've seen firsthand how much rigorousness it is kind of going. And the third one is the eager to adopt technology, both for the industry and governance. Again, the efficiency is a keyword even in Gujarat, but also I'm seeing that's happening even in the governance. So that's where we chose Gandhinagar as our place. We are very fortunate that before we opened our actual lab, fortunate that in last leg of Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference in Rajkot, we were honored and privileged to show it to Honorable Prime Minister himself about this machine and the platform. And this is what we did. We opened Suzuki Micro E-Mobility Innovation Lab for Ecosystem, short form for SMILE. We want to bring SMILE to everybody in the whole ecosystem. But the two more important points is innovation and the ecosystem. Suzuki cannot do this on our own. We need the ecosystem. We need the innovation partner. We'll do what we do the best. That is, we make the mobility platform. But we need startups to create solution on top of it. Let's say if you are a startup that has a static solution, and if you bring it with mobility, you can extract more dollar from your customers. Or you can have a further reach in the industry that you didn't even plan in the horizontal way. I think we are the partner you can work with us. So one of them is the, of course, solution partner is startup. Second is taking advantage of the manufacturing base of MSME of Gujarat. We would also like to localize this in India. Right now, we are bringing it from Japan, but gradually we'll do that. And lot of this technology adoption will happen by government. For example, if you put GPR behind our machine, today a person has to push the GPR. Any road expansion or any strengthening of the thing or any sidewalk where you want to check the utility, today a person pushes it. It takes arduous time, only 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. You put it behind our machine, the GPR run on its own. It can be set at 1 kilometer, 3 kilometer, 6 kilometer speed. You can go up to 5 meter, 7 meter, 11 meter. You can exact map without any vibration or anything. So your speed to execute those infrastructure project also becomes faster. We also got accredited by Air Cargo Federation of Forum of India. This industry is very crazy. Today we don't even realize. Sitting in Ahmedabad, you order something from Bangalore, Gurgaon, anywhere, and it reaches next day, thanks to these guys. This industry is growing at phenomenal place. In 5 years, they have to be 2.5 times they are right now. And they have one more problem is all their activity has to be sustainable. And they are looking to our machine in a big way because our machine works on battery, zero tailpipe emission. And again, they have a similar use cases where it is to carry, load, go to different places and like that. Now, this is how we engage the ecosystem. These are our platforms. Any solution that the startups have, they can come free visit our lab in Gandhinagar, and we try to engage the industry further. Let me give you an example of one startup. It's called Oizom. It's based out of Ahmedabad. The brilliant guys, just 10 years old startup, but already present in 90 countries. Now they make very, very high quality sensors. And when they found out about this platform, they reached out to us saying, today in data centers of US, when they wash it out, there is a lot of ammonia that comes out. And however many static sensors you put, it's not enough. And because these arrays runs in kilometers of these large data centers, and this happens very often. So they were looking for their sensors to be loaded on our machine, and it would kind of capture the data. Same thing in the mining. In Australian minings, after the blast, there is a huge regulation that no odorous gas or something should go in the area. So they have to continuously monitor that. Today they just have to pray and just wait for because human can't go there. So just leave their suitcase, which is, I'll show you later on. It's like kind of a box where they put all the sensors. But with our mobility solution, it can now go to periphery, actually figure it out where the wind direction is, how it is moving, and say whether it is happening through mining or something else kind of stuff. And there are many other places. Imagine the Commonwealth game. By 2030, you'll have so many athletes coming in, and you really, really, really now want to take care of the air. Now, static sensor, again, will have a lot of dark zones and all, but if you have this kind of thing running continuously, even in the GIDC estate or what, so this is something that we are looking, along with OISOM, to kind of do further. And this is the biggest use case. In current geopolitical situation that we are in, the energy independence is a very core essence for us. Solar are the best shot for us. There are three problems in the solar plant. One is the soiling on top of the panel. The other one is what happens under the solar panel. That's the wiring, MC4 connector and all. Typically, they are not very high quality and they go bad very fast. You have a SCADA, but it only tells you later when the problem happens and you lose the one day. And this is very important as the BESS is also very prominent. Gujarat is also looking for energy for hydrogen and all. Whatever more you produce is actually a profit. And with our machine, with OISOM system and some other startup solutions, what you're trying to do is identify the soiling, the hotspots, the wiring issue, even the heating at the junction box. So the solar panels or the park is always in a pristine form, and you can save up to 5%, which is a tremendous saving over a period of years. This is our prism when we like to reach out to startup, because this is very serious endeavor we do. Typically, we try to see if the startup is in a mature stage, where they've understood the market, they've got the client, and with this mobility solution, if the problem is so unique they can solve, that will be great. Impact is another area where we are looking at. the scalability for the startup, that if they work with us, then it should also help them, and their ability to maintain the solution. I'll be very quick now. These are the few areas that we are initially looking at. We are more looking at vision. All the accidents in steel plant sometimes happen for smaller things. You have sensors, but there is a mandatory thing that people go and check. It's very hazardous. Sometimes you have to climb up and all. If we can automate or semi-automate with this machine, where it can go in a narrow spaces in any places, it can be used for that. Solar farm, I already spoke, but there is a huge amount of requirement in the oil and gas, both within the plant, also using GPR to see the health of pipelines that is going beneath. Uh, Airports, I can't divulge much, but there is something exciting we are working on with. And of course, the cargo operation, which the Air Cargo Forum is trying to help us out. Utility, as I said, on the civic part of it. And then there is a tunnel cleaning, which is also coming up by many startups in a bigger way. And this is a future vision. So Smile Lab, we do not want just to be like one thing. We want to make India as a base for the global. We are trying to see not just to help the improve the efficiency at the various sector and industry level, but we also want to help startups. If somebody also wants to get into robotics, we'll be more than happy to help them with the parts. And importantly, using our global supply chain, we would like to see if we can also export these solutions with our platform, with startups to a global market. And I'll just stop here. And this is what we like to call it, physical AI. In the age of too many software AI, this is a robotics platform. With your intelligence solution, we can take it to world. I'll just pause it for a while if you want to take a picture of this one so that you can know how to contact us and be in touch with us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayur Shah, for that wonderful presentation. I would now like to request Mr. Pranav Pandya to come and felicitate Mr. Mayur Shah. I'm sure all of you all found this session as knowledgeable as I did, and we all learned a lot. Let's put our hands together. All right, now let's move on to our next session. And we are going to talk about a space that has quite literally taken innovation to new heights. Drones are no longer futuristic, they are solving many real life problems, right from agriculture to infrastructure and much beyond. So let's dive deep into how startups are creating measurable impact in this sector. One such startup is Inside FPV. Today we have Mr. Divyant Bhardwaj, co-founder of Inside FPV. The company is driving innovation in drone technology through cutting-edge R&D and user-friendly plug-and-fly FPVs. A Shark Tank India success and Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia honoree, he is also actively building the future drone ecosystem through academia and government collaborations. Let's welcome Mr. Divyant Bharadwaj on stage. He's on his way? All right. All right, while we wait for Devyan to come here, I guess he's stuck somewhere. I'd like to move on to the next session, and that is the fireside chat. So, in this fireside chat, let me. Okay, so, leading India's sustainable industrial revolution, we explore how innovation and industry are coming together to lead India's sustainable industrial revolution. I now invite Mr. Pranav Pandya, the moderator, and the speakers, Mr. Neerav Dhanai, and just give me one, Mr. Tarun Naik, the Vice President of Chart Zone. So Mr. Pranav Pandya is a co-founder of Wave Information Technology and Executive Director at Gezia IT Association. He is a key force in India's IT ecosystem and he has been instrumental in building large-scale e-governance and digital platforms while actively driving collaboration and policy advocacy for digital transformation. Welcome, Pranav bhai. Then we have Mr. Dhanai, founder and managing director of Heaven Green Energy Limited. The company is driving solar adoption and energy independence in India, a serial entrepreneur across renewable energy, EV mobility and technology. He also actively mentors startups and champions sustainable impact and growth. We also have Mr. Tarun Naik. He's the Vice President of Network Planning and Strategy and brings around 18 years of engineering and business experience with a strong track record of operational excellence, customer experience, and leadership. Let's put our hands together and start this fireside chat.
So good. Hello, hello. Volume
Hello. Hello.
Hello. So good afternoon, all of you. ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન તો થઈ જ ગયું છે એટલે એની પર આપણે સમય નહીં ગુમાવીએ આપણે વાત કરી હતી એ પ્રમાણે સો ફોર્ચ્યુનેટલી ગાઈઝ યુ હેવ સમબડી ફ્રોમ સુરત ઇટ સેલ્ફ તો તમારામાંથી ગુજરાતી કેટલા લોકો સમજે છે ગુડ અને ગુજરાતી નથી સમજતા એટલા કેટલા છે તો હિન્દીમાં સ્વિચ થઈએ ઓકે તો આમ you are kind of outnumbered, but still let's try. We'll try to fix Gujarati and Hindi and English together. So let's see how it goes. We have somebody from Surat Nache, and he's into the solar energy. And we have somebody from Vadodara who is into the alternate energy and એમાં પણ ખાસ કરીને આપણા બધાનો અત્યારના it is something which is very popular. Solar is and solar was. In fact, it has its own headwinds going on. But we have EV also taking forward. And EV charging zone ni અંદર કદાચ આખા હિન્દુસ્તાનમાં સૌથી મોટું નામ છે તો એ સંસ્થા આપણી વડોદરાની છે. And we have got gentleman Tarunji from the Vadodara.
Thank you.
Neerav bhai is also doing stupendous work in terms of solar and he goes accolades to talk about હવે વધારે સમય હું એમાં નહીં ગુમાવું પણ rather વિતાવું પણ મારો બંનેને એક જ પ્રશ્ન છે કે since we have got quite a bit of startup ecosystem here અને startup mentorનું પણ સંખ્યા વધારે છે we have seen that when she got the raise of hand going on તો એ બાબતે આપણે વાત કરીએ કે તમારી જર્ની the three critical milestones or three crucial milestones as a startup that you feel you should share with them. અને obviously એમાં થોડું તમારી બિઝનેસની પણ વાત કરી લેજો what it is all about. So I hand it over to you.
Yes, so thank you so much for the opportunity at first place. So I have started the solar business in 2018 and the solar policy is launched in 2016. So luckily we got the early adoption options and we get the opportunity to start a business in solar at a very early stage. So in 2018 we have started with the three people. We three are were friends and हम लोगों ने वैसे ही start कर दिया था. उस टाइम पे ऐसा था कि फॉर अ सोलर इज़ फॉर अ कॉरपोरेट कंपनीज, मतलब जो बड़े लोग हैं वो स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं बिकॉज इट्स रिक्वायर लॉट्स ऑफ कैपिटल. बट वो टाइम पे हम जब स्टार्ट किया तब इतना अवेयरनेस नहीं था, तो got and jump into EPC business जो कम कैपिटल के साथ स्टार्ट हो सकता है. सो ये एक सबसे पहला माइलस्टोन रहा कि जहाँ पे हम लोगों ने कम कैपिटल के साथ स्टार्ट किया. एग्जैक्ट बिफोर जस्ट कोविड हिट, उससे पहले हम लोगों ने okay. So we got the before just COVID, we got the opportunity to tie up with the big module brand Adani Solar, and that was a hit where everyone is trying something कि अभी कोविड के बाद क्या करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे. तो एक पूरा होल्ड था, उसमें हम लोगों ने दो चीज़ों पे काम किया. वेर मतलब एक रहता है कि जितना एक्सेलेंसी लाएंगे एग्जीक्यूशन के अंदर उतना ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट बना सकते हैं. बिकॉज इन AI एरा और अभी इंफॉर्मेशन इज़ वेरी मच अवेलेबल, तो कोई मोनोपोली नहीं है बिजनेस में. तो वो उसको कैसे हिट करे, तो वो हमें वहाँ पे समझ में आया कि जितना एग्जीक्यूशन एक्सेलेंसी लाएंगे उतना काफ़ी अच्छे से हम सर्व कर पाएंगे. तो ये एक हमें काफ़ी अच्छा पॉइंट मिला और उस पर हम लोगों ने काम किया इन कोविड टाइम पे. एंड फिर वी गोट इनटू द प्लेटफॉर्म बिजनेस वेयर वी क्रिएटेड वन प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर और सोलर कंपनीज, जहाँ पे हम सारे सोलर कंपनीज के साथ मिलके काम कर पाए. तो एक इकोसिस्टम क्रिएशन पे हम लोगों ने फोकस किया इन 2025-26. सो ये हमारे लिए काफ़ी अच्छा रहा. सो एंड राइट नाउ इन द एरा ऑफ AI, that is very much important because information is very easy to get, और लोगों को साथ लेके काम करना, that is something जो सब लोगों को यहाँ से सीखना चाहिए. एंड वाइब्रेंट गुजरात इज़ ऑल्सो लाइक दैट ओनली. सो या सो दैट या सो वो वहाँ से हमें काफ़ी अच्छा एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला एंड उसमें काम करने का मौका मिला और अभी उस पर काम कर रहे हैं. तो these are the three milestone where we are working right now.
Thank you. How about you, Tarunji?
Yeah, I think the starting point is very similar to what Nirav mentioned. Is in 2018, government declared EV charging service as a general business rather than a regulated business under Electricity Act, and that was a starting point. That is when the kind of charge zone was incubated. Again, the government supported in terms of the entrepreneurship and startup cell that it had incubated. Leveraging on that, we participated on the first EV bus charging hub that set up in Ahmedabad. And then the next milestone came in, and that's where the actual code was written, which is actually the, also the USP of our company is that it's an indigenous code, which is an IoT-based operating platform wherein the chargers are operated over a cloud from our central management charger management system called Charge Cloud. The next milestone is kind of collaborating with OEMs and global OEMs. So we set up first Audi co-branded charging station in Mumbai BKC, and then there was no looking back in a way. But yes, as he mentioned, this again is a very capital-intensive business, and capital infusion is where we are looking at. And in 2024, the world's largest equity firm, which is Macquarie Capital, invested into us, gave us a capital infusion, and then we leveraged on that, built on it, expanded rigorously and efficiently, constantly innovating, bringing new innovations in terms of auto charge features, solar integration, BESS integration, supercharging for trucks and buses all the way. So these are, kind of, that has been the journey and some key milestones that I would want to talk about.
Thank you. So they've got some interesting numbers, both of them. Specifically, EV charger ની વાત કરીએ, EV charging station ની, તો sizable number છે. encouraging numbers. I'm sure we have got encouraging numbers from them too because I saw their corporate film. So, મારે શું કામ એ numbers તમારે લોકોની સામે મૂકવા છે? Just to let you know, the demand supply gap overall in both the sector is sizable. And therefore there is a lots of opportunity too. And let me be very upfront right now. As regulator government, both central and state, are encouraging both the sectors incredibly, and we all are aware of that. We all have taken benefit of that, whether buying an EV vehicle or going for solar installation. તમારા ઘર પર હોય કે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલ ઇન્સ્ટોલેશન હોય. સો સાઇઝેબલ બેનિફિટ્સ મળે છે, ગવર્મેન્ટ કરી જ રહી છે. And we've got entrepreneurs sitting right across here for all of us to take a note of. So in that context, થોડા નંબર શેર કરીએ આપણે. એને એન્કરેજ કરીએ. તમારા મત પ્રમાણે what according to you is the opportunity existing still that people can participate as an entrepreneur in solar business?
Yes.
So
So
not asking to, don't be afraid of competition because
yeah.
it's huge.
Yes, yes.
સમુંદર છે
Yes,
opportunity.
yes, yes. So obviously, so solar के अंदर तो particularly ऐसा है कि हर साल 45 to 50 गीगावाट एनर्जी एड ऑन हो रहा है सोलर में हर साल. एंड गवर्नमेंट वांट्स कि वो 100 प्लस गीगावाट ऐड हो. और मतलब अपना गवर्नमेंट के ऐसे टारगेट्स है ना जिसको मैट करना अभी पूरा इकोसिस्टम मिलके 50% तक भी पहुंच नहीं पाते. तो मैं पीएम सूर्यघर सब लोगों ने नाम सुना होगा, पीएम सूर्यघर स्कीम, जिसमें गवर्नमेंट ने टारगेट लिया था कि 1 करोड़ घर पे सोलर लगाना है बाय 2027. 25,000 कंपनीज ने मिलकर सिर्फ 30 लाख घर पे सोलर लगा पाए. तो इट्स अ ह्यूज गैप जिसको गवर्नमेंट वांट्स कि सब लोग आके इसको जल्दी से खत्म करें, क्योंकि 1 करोड़ घर के बाद फिर 8 करोड़ घर का और नया टारगेट है. सो अपॉर्चुनिटीज इनमेंस, बट अगेन ऑब्वियसली जहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है वहाँ पे ज़्यादा अच्छे से काम करने की ज़रूरत होती है. क्योंकि काफ़ी सारे लोग आएंगे तो सिर्फ ईपीसी बन के आएंगे तो काम नहीं होगा. तो एवरी मतलब बहुत सारी चीज़ें जिसको सोल्व किया जा सकता है. वन इज़ अ फाइनेंस, मतलब ग्रीन फाइनेंस के अंदर काफ़ी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ है. अगर कोई उसमें अपना बिजनेस बना सकता है, कोई ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म की जहाँ पे एंड कस्टमर्स को, ईपीसीज को अगर फाइनेंस मिल पाए इजीली, तो दैट कैन बी वेरी ग्रेट प्लेटफॉर्म. अगेन सोलर लगता है तो उसमें मतलब मेरा ये हाइपोथेसिस है कि सोलर में ईपीसी सबसे ज़्यादा फेमस है. ईपीसी सबसे इजी है. हाँ, तो इंजीनियरिंग प्रोक्योरमेंट कंस्ट्रक्शन सबसे इजी है. उसके आजू बाजू की चीज़ें ना वो सबसे टफ है. लैंड का एग्रीगेशन करना दैट इज़ अ वेरी टफ गेम. फाइनेंस सब सेटअप करना वो एक टफ है. लाइजनिंग करना वो एक टफ है. तो ये सारी जगह पे है. फिर ONM, मतलब आपने जो बताया वही, कि एक बार प्रोजेक्ट सेटअप हो गया उसके बाद उसको मेंटेन करना 25 साल तक. तो वहाँ पे काफ़ी मैन पावर की ज़रूरत होती है. वहाँ पे काफ़ी एक्सपर्टीज़ की ज़रूरत होती है. तो जहाँ पे बहुत कम लोग हैं अभी जो काम कर रहे हैं, तो देर आर लॉट्स ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी देयर एज वेल. एंड बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट ईपीसी के अंदर भी तो है. हाँ, सो नया अभी गवर्नमेंट एक कुसुम का नया स्कीम लेके आ रहा है जहाँ पे एग्रीवोल्टिक होने वाला है. सो जैसे पीएम सूर्य अगर में 1 करोड़ घर पे सोलर लग रहा है, वैसे गवर्नमेंट इज टेकिंग टारगेट ऑफ 10 गीगावाट. तो इट्स 10,000 मेगावाट का एग्रीवोल्टिक सोलर लगाना है पूरे इंडिया में. सो लॉट्स ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज. एंड मतलब अगर सब लोगों को आना है तो वी कैन हेल्प देम. और पूरा मतलब सोलर का एक, फॉर्चुनेटली सूरत के अंदर साउथ गुजरात सोलर एसोसिएशन एक है. ये एसोसिएशन इज रिकॉग्नाइज्ड बाय MNRE, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ न्यू एंड रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी. एक ही ऐसा एसोसिएशन है जिनको वहाँ पे मीटिंग में बुलाते हैं कि ऐसा और क्या कर सकते हैं. दिस इज प्राउड फॉर साउथ गुजरात एज वेल. और टोटल सोलर मॉड्यूल्स के प्रोडक्शन का मोर देन 50% प्रोडक्शन साउथ गुजरात में होता है. सो डायमंड सिटी, टेक्सटाइल सिटी के बाद अभी सोलर सिटी भी सूरत है ही. तो पूरे इंडिया में लोग ऐसे ही जानते हैं. तो लॉट्स ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज यहाँ पे काफ़ी काम कर सकते हैं.
Thank you. Over to you, Tarunji. I'm sure massive
Lot of
opportunity and the
lot of
numbers, your numbers.
yeah, lot of opportunities. So let me start with a simple statistics. Today there are 50 million vehicles on road in India. The sales penetration is at 5%, and we are having 1,500 charging stations installed on our own with an ecosystem of around 15,000 charging points currently, and we are the largest in that sense. But still, just 2 days back, there was a news that the charging infra is not enough with the number of vehicles already on road. So even with 5%, the charging stations are not enough. Imagine that goes to 30%, 50% by 2030, 2045. And that means there is 10x growth opportunity that is still lying in front of us. We ourselves, are kind of vouching for a 10x growth in the next year, and we are falling short to cater to what is in the demand. Another statistics that I'll give you, yeah, and that links to what Nirav just mentioned. Nirav mentioned 50 gigawatt. There are 1 million trucks sold every year. If those trucks need to be electrified, then we are looking at 500 gigawatt of solar plant that would be needed, solar installations, just to run the 1 million electric trucks for the next 5 years. The charging infrastructure that is needed or that is envisaged is we are looking at 1.2 million charging station that would be needed in the next 5 years. When I'm saying 1.2 million charging stations, there is, as we said, O&M comes into play. But not just O&M. This is not one EV charging industry. This is a transport utility infrastructure that we are building. That means the associated logistics, fleet management, fleet energy optimization. Every vehicle who's going to have a charging requirement is going to stop for around 20-25 minutes as a charging pit stop. That means a lot of experience spaces being to be built as a pit stop, who will offer food and beverages, not just charging pit stop. Charging is going to be a side activity, let me tell you. You will stop when you want to. You don't want to stop when you charge. So the charging station will have to be a pit stop.
Correct.
And that is an immense opportunity for all the ancillary industries that is coming in and the local employment in the local regions. And that is actually what we have been trying to do when we are setting up supercharging stations. We are setting up supercharging stations with BESS. We are employing local operators, that is giving employment to the local ecosystem, building hygienic restrooms. That is again an opportunity to evolve and innovate as to how do we keep that going when so many of footfalls would be coming in. So that's I'll stop here. I mean, if I can keep on going with the numbers. And just to give another perspective how this EV ecosystem is helping. Currently our logistics cost is at around 15% of the GDP. We need to reduce it to around 6 to 7% of the GDP. That is a government target. And to do that, we'll need to electrify almost 50% of the EV vehicles. And that means almost 25 million vehicles on the road need to be EVs.
Massive.
It's massive.
Massive is the only word that comes. So, how much time do we have? 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes is what we have. One or two questions, probably. You may go ahead.
We have to have multiple apps for either for charging or for solar monitoring. So let's say I have two different locations of my installation, and then so I have to have two apps. And if I have upgraded, then I need to have another third app. So why can't it be unified like Paytm and all the UPI apps?
Yeah, so obviously in monitoring, it is not only monitoring, it is about the grid security as well. And government have taken very great steps to secure the grids. बिकॉज अब तक क्या था कि अपना जो ग्रिड सिक्योरिटी का हैंडल है ना वो आउट ऑफ कंट्री था. अभी गवर्नमेंट इज बिल्डिंग इको सिस्टम वेयर गवर्नमेंट इज unified us with the given protocol. We have to set up the protocols in our inverter applications and everywhere. एंड द अगर अलग अलग जगह पे सोलर प्लांट है तो उसको एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाना इट इज़ ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ जॉब ऑफ ईपीसी और ऐप डेवलपर. तो वो भी अभी हो रहा है इंडस्ट्री में, बट ऑब्वियसली गैप्स है वहाँ पे. but it can be improved और आगे जाके उसमें भी काम होगा. Yeah. So, but that is also some people are solving that issues as well. If multiple companies have installed solar of a single person, then every plants can be, in a unified manner. They can show at one place.
I see it as an opportunity for us as the software industry to participate with both of them and solve that problem.
I was going to say the same thing, that that's an opportunity lying there. However, in EV space, that has already started. There are a lot of aggregator apps that are coming in. Uh, Even the government has also initiated, and in fact, there is a forum wherein we are also participating, wherein the government is going to bring a single platform wherein any EV charging station can be accessed. And how many of you use Beam app? Okay, if you have seen the Beam app recently, there is a tab that has gone added which is saying EV charging. It's not yet activated, but yes, that means the progress has been made enough that very soon you will see that every charging station can be accessed and charging can be initiated through a Beam app. And you will not need a different apps. Still, you will also have like multiplayer ecosystem, because every charging CPO will have to have some differentiators to make as a unique proposition, and they will bring out those features into those apps. So you can still expect to have individual apps and can still expect to have a common app. It's for the user what he wants as a convenience, as a feature. So the market is going to be open.
I think the government sandbox is going to play a major role, right? So I think we can have, I think they have hard stop. They've got a hard stop. What we can do is you can always connect with both of them, or if you have a question for me at the end of this.
I'm
Then we
sure
may-
they'll be more than happy to take an offline question.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
all are people who love to connect and network.
So thank you, all of you. Thank you very much for patient hearing. I know time is short, just 20 minutes, but then that makes a much more sharp and crisper talk which we had today. Thank you so much, all of you.
No,
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I
Thank
must
you.
say that was a very powerful conversation that highlighted innovation and sustainability along with
One
industry.
more thing, thank you to team Vibrant Gujarat, the entire government machinery, the volunteers, all of you are doing fantastic job. Thank you so much, all of you.
Yes, second that. Second that.
I would now like to invite Sri R.D. Barat to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Pranav Pandya. I would now like to invite Ms. Riya Singha to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Tarun Naik. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to hold on to your seats because we are expecting the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Harsh Sanghvi, to come and visit this room. So, and I would now like to invite Ms. Shruti to come and give a token of appreciation to Mr. Neerav Dhanani. Let's all not be miser with our claps. All right. We move on along with our technology glitches. Uh, I think it makes an amusing back score for all of us. But let's go on with our next session. So, beyond strategy and scale and funding, every successful startup has a deeper driving force, its purpose. This session explores Ikigai, the powerful intersection of passion, purpose, and impact, and how it becomes the invisible engine that drives the resilient force behind every startup. I now invite Mr. Anish Baheti. He's the co-founder of Train My Brain, who is an Ikigai coach and a leadership mentor focused on enabling purpose-driven growth to take charge of this session. The mission link in startup success. He's a TEDx speaker and an international keynote speaker. He blends purpose with performance to impact leaders, organizations, and the broader learning ecosystem. Please welcome. You want to use this?
It's okay. I don't need presentation.
All right. Will you be taking the session of your own?
Yes, yes. Hi, everyone. I don't have a presentation, so I'm just going to speak today. So, एक स्टोरी से मैं शुरू करना चाहता हूँ. I hope everyone understand Hindi. Yes, we have already done that check before. So, story is about two lawyers, and basically they are really well paid lawyers. दोनों एकदम अच्छा कमा रहे हैं और you know one of the lawyer friends who just purchased a brand new sports car, वो अपने दोस्त को बोलता है कि चलो यार अपन let's go for a drive. So this guy who's driving is going crazy speed. मतलब he's just going crazy. He feels that he's invincible. कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. ये स्पोर्ट्स कार के अंदर अपने को कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता है. And the guy who's narrating the story, जो पैसेंजर सीट पे है, वो बोलता है कि अरे स्लो डाउन यार, there is no need to rush, slow down. And this guy is going crazy, completely crazy. Unfortunately, एक sharp turn आता है, and then this guy who's driving the car loses control, and the car starts flipping in the air. And when it is, जैसे movies में आता है ना, the car is just completely flipping in the air, and ये जो the one who is sitting in the passenger seat, उनकी लाइफ एकदम स्लो मोशन में चली जाती है. It's like in 5 or 10 seconds he's feeling like, oh my god, the entire life is, he knows that this is my last sort of moment. वो 5 सेकंड के अंदर उनके जहन में क्या आता है? Nothing to do with career, nothing to do with the bank balance, nothing to do with the family, nothing to do with the wife, kids, parents. ऐसा कोई सवाल उनके दिमाग में आता नहीं. उनके दिमाग में एक क्वेश्चन आता है, and this is basically he's just having a near death experience, and the question which he faces is, did I live? और अगर मैं उसको expand करूं, did I live my life according to my own terms? Did I design my life, or did I lived by default? और वहाँ से ये कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे बहुत मतलब when I listen to the story and I went deeper and deeper. I would also like to connect my own story. So I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I did my CA back in 2022. And I was in the youngest list of chartered accountant. Very, really nice, job and everything. Everything was very super from the outside. But there was something which was missing inside. I felt that कुछ तो कमी है, ये चीज़ के लिए मैं बना नहीं हूँ. There is some missing thing which I really wanted to figure out. So I changed about, and today I'm telling it with great sense of pride. I changed about 6 jobs in a span of 9 months when I was starting off my career. And I went into this mode of self-discovery. I went to Australia. I lived there for about 10 odd years and did my MBA from there. And while I was doing that, I figured out like basically what I'm meant to do in my life and all that. And then I came to know about this term, which is the word which is called as Ikigai. The reason I'm sharing that is, and I'm going to talk about Ikigai, but let me just connect the dots here. So basically, we feel that startups, usually they don't fail because of lack of funding. They don't fail because lack of ideas. They usually fail because they lack meaning, purpose. कहीं ना कहीं वो alignment छूट जाता है. They start with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm, and then later on, slowly and gradually, they feel that भैया अब तो थक रहे हैं, मतलब I'm just draining too much of my energy. So Simon Sinek, how many of you know Simon Sinek? Yeah, उनकी एक बहुत अच्छा book है, talk भी है, start with why. So it's all about why. If you can figure out your why, your what and how becomes smooth. तो ये why की कहानी है पूरी की पूरी. So, you know, scale fast, hustle hard, raise funds. This is all good. But no one talks about the confusion. No one talks about the misalignment. No one talks about the stress which a founder is carrying secretly. सो ये जो जर्नी है वो आपको अगर लंबे टाइम तक अगर उसको चलाना है तो वो वाई बहुत स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए एंड दैट इज वेयर द इकिगाई इज कमिंग फ्रॉम. Ikigai is a Japanese word. Anyone, I'm assuming a lot of people know about the Ikigai book, and yeah, so okay. So, Ikigai is a Japanese word. It is coming from the small village called as Okinawa. And, you know, usually the people in Okinawa, they live for about 90 plus easily. Apart from the clean weather, great sort of, you know, health system, everything, apart from all the good part, everyone over there has got a purpose. Why should I wake up in the morning? What drives me? मुझे क्यों उठना है? आज के दिन उठ के मुझे क्या करना है? So at 90 plus also they have a purpose, and that is what is creating a pull. Remember that Ikigai is that sort of a thing which will create a pull rather than a push. So what is Ikigai? So let me connect again this with a small quote by Mark Twain. Mark Twain once said there are two most important days in your life: the day when you are born, and second, the day when you find out why you were born in the first place. So again, it comes back to the why. मेरा एक सिंपल सा छोटा सा मैसेज ये रहेगा कि if you are already in your journey of your startup, if you are thinking of getting into startup, there are some students also, they want to get into startup. Try and focus why you want to get into it. And if that is stronger, you will ensure that the journey will just go longer and longer, and it will be smoother, not smoother, but it will be very fulfilling and enriching. That is what I personally feel. So ikigai ko main thoda short mein samjhana chahta hu. So obviously in the book there are 4 different circles. I'm just going to simplify it again because I love to simplify things. So there are 3 circles which I want to talk about. One is skill. आपकी क्या क्षमता है, आपके क्या talents हैं, you know what you are really good at. So that is one circle. Second circle is what really gets you paid. मतलब आपको कहाँ से पैसा मिलेगा. That's very very important. Okay. So what are the things where you will get paid? Now the way I want you to think is you are getting paid today, and what are the areas you can get paid in the future. So ये थोड़ा futuristic भी है क्योंकि I want to open that avenue where you can get paid in the future. So ये second circle हो गया. You have to think about few things which you are getting paid for today, or you can also get paid in the future. And third, the most important circle is a circle of love. ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जो आप करना पसंद करते हैं, बेहद दिलचस्पी है उस चीज़ों को करने में, even for free. So what is that you really love to do? ठीक है, तो ये 3 सर्कल्स हो गए. अब ये 3 सर्कल के अंदर आपको एक कॉमन थ्रेड ढूंढना है, and that common thread is basically your ikigai. That is the sweet spot. If you can do something which you are really skilled at, if you can get paid for your skills and you really love doing that, that's amazing beauty. If you can figure that out. अच्छा, इन दो के कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत खतरनाक है. So if you are really skilled at something and you get paid for it, chances are I would say it's more like a job. थोड़ा monotonous हो जाएगा. ठीक है. अच्छा, if you get paid for something and you love to do it but you're not skilled at it, so maybe chances are you have to hire someone because you're amateur, you're novice. So you might have to hire someone into your team. So that is not your ikigai as such. And the last one is you love to do something and you are really skilled at it, but no one is willing to pay a single penny to you. So it will turn out to be a hobby, right? तो हमको ये दो के कॉम्बिनेशंस भी नहीं करने हैं, हमको करना है तीनों के कॉम्बिनेशंस, एंड यू हैव टू फिगर दैट आइडियली टू लीड अ ब्यूटीफुल लाइफ. आई वांट टू लीव यू विद 3 क्वेश्चंस. मेरा टॉक बहुत छोटा है, मैं आई हैव बीन टोल्ड दैट, एंड आई आल्सो हैव टू कैच द ट्रेन. थैंक यू वंस अगेन सर फॉर एडजस्टिंग and just giving me this slot. So the 3 questions which I really want to talk about is ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें हैं, what are those things, what are those things which gives you energy, what are those things which gives you energy. That's number 1. Second question which I want you to think is, what are those things which drains your energy? ठीक है, वो नहीं करना है. Or third, the most important thing is, if money was not a factor, what would you really love to do? तो ये 3 क्वेश्चंस भी आप थोड़ा सा जहन में रख के इसके बारे में सोचें. हमको ऐसा लगता है कि usually we say that you, or anyone like you are building your startup. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि your startup is actually building you. That's the situation. So with this, I would like to stop my talk here, and I wish you all the very best. God bless all of you. And I hope I was able to give some insight, maybe a little bit on Ikigai. I do a lot of talks on Ikigai. I have designed my own meditation program, which is called as 3-6-9-12 meditation program. So I usually do the brain mapping as part of a starter, like a self-awareness sort of an exercise. Then I take people through 5 sort of sessions on meditation, and then I open up with the Ikigai sort of talk. I do a lot of corporate sessions and universities engagement as well. So thank you so much for listening so patiently. Thanks a lot, and I wish you all the very best. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Bharati, for that insightful session. I would like to invite Mr. Satyarth Srivastav. Mr. Bharati, could we have you here, please? I would like to invite Mr. Satyarth Srivastav to give a token of appreciation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we go back to the first session that we had started with, and we now have Mr. Devyant Bhardwaj here, and I'd like to invite him on stage. We all know about Inside FPV now, so we'll just continue with the questions. Ajinek, mic.
Um, just wanted to know, like, how many of you guys know here what Inside FPV does? Anyone here? Okay, I mean, rest of the. So, for rest of the members, I would like to highlight few of the points that we are actually into currently in the defense market. So, we are one of the major players in kamikaze drones specifically, and we have been building it from about a year or so for specifically into kamikaze initiation mechanism. But apart from that, it's been 8 years journey that we have been going through this. So let me know if
So I'll
how
be
do you want
asking
to
you a
start?
few questions if you can have a seat.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can have it. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
no problem.
All right. Devyant, my first question to you is that drone technology has moved beyond the buzz of real development. It's into agriculture, it's into defense, it's into infrastructure. So, in your view, I mean, having done this for so many years, in your view, um, where are drone startups creating the highest impact?
Um, so particularly for the highest impact, mostly the defense market is all about. I mean, 80% of their market share is completely based on defense market. If you see infra, mining, all of it uh, come together, still the allocation is not much. But when it comes to talking about major priorities in defense as well. So there have been many categories which have been formed right now in the market, which is one of the logistics drones. Then we have kamikaze setups as well. Along with that, we have gotten different varieties of it, but at the same time, there have been huge challenges to actually make sure how we can actually get it over the line. But
Right.
right now, it's defense.
Defense, all right. We're going to go to challenges in a bit, but first, let's talk about something interesting for all of us. So, take us back to a moment when you first realized that drones could solve a real on ground problem in India, and what did you see or experience that made it more um, than just a technology idea?
Got it. So mostly, many people would be wondering that obviously a young guy, how come is it possible? Like, how is it possible to get over 40-year-olds and get into the company and get it things done, right? So that is one of the major questions everyone asks about. But this thing is penetrating in defense is one of the hell of a task, right? But there have been few instances in my early days as well. We started off in 2020. I mean, we incorporated our venture in 2020 itself. In India, if you see, our soldiers at Galwan Valley clash, right, back then, uh, they really didn't had that aerial intelligence or the technology which was actually being flourished. It was right from 2005 when IdeaForge came in. Just one of the companies had led the complete market of defense, right, when it comes to UAV sector specifically. But talking about ourselves, we had our own roller coaster ride coming across. But if you would have seen Russia-Ukraine war mostly, it was like very, very different than what we have been here right now because you see the Chinese and our domain were completely different, the hardware and the software part of it. But when it comes to the aerial intelligence, it actually has three different models where we have been into, which is software, hardware, and embedded ones. So right now, drone as a service was one of the like major leading players in the market as well. But at the same time, we are into product building. So what we have done is we have catered our own mechanism here itself in India and have been creating it about 70% of its indigenous tech here itself. So it's been a real challenge, but at the same time, hoping to get a clear no foreign supply chain in the market of defense right now. So yeah.
Right. So, talking about your roller coaster ride and the challenge, what was the biggest barrier you faced while trying to scale up? Like, was it regulation based? Was it adoption, economics, or talent? And could you just tell us a little bit how
Yeah,
you
I mean,
overcome that?
right. So, particularly talking about the scaling part of it, recently we bagged a good size of order though from Indian government. But the major problem is,
And that has been in the newspapers and the media
yeah,
all over.
right. I mean, it's been like it's been everywhere though. Um, Firstly, would like to let you know like how we have started off our thing so that you will get to know across how many aspects do we have to cover. So in general, if I talk about, we were there on Shark Tank, we were there on Forbes 30 and the 30 Asia, many multimedia platforms. It was been just uh, one hell of an experience as well at the same time. But uh, you see, grass is always greener on the other side, right? Whatever we see as glamour, it looks good, but at the same time, you see there's much challenge to it. So, particularly talking about scale, I feel there has been huge, huge amount of tech ongoing progression in India right now in the hardware industry specifically. But when it comes to Russia, Ukraine scaling, let's suppose about 5,000 plus drones across 50 plus army regiments, still we are lacking a bit. And it is mostly about they produce a lakh a month. We are doing just 5,000, so it's quite a number. But still, what we have developed is we started off with 10 or 15 odd drones uh, right from our first month. But when it comes to the actual game part, so I think that is what we are currently aligned with. So yeah,
That's a good challenge to have, right?
right.
And I'm sure you'll have a lot of people who would be interested to help you surmount
Great
that.
to great to connect. Also, just would like to highlight this. Like, we were being funded by Gujarat Ventures Finance Limited itself. So, um, this is one of the major funds wherein World Bank has been supporting us, and at the same time, if Amit Shah ji had this commemorate, so it becomes easy for us to go ahead.
Well, that's an interesting statement to make on stage. But having said that. So, the moment when you got to know that you're scaling, the challenges you faced, what keeps you grounded? I mean, by you all are under 30, with so much of adulation, with so much of highlight onto you. What keeps you grounded?
Yeah, I mean, look, you have many other challenges as well. This is one of the major questions which have been like quite frequently asked, though. So, talking particularly about this aspect, you see, people would obviously pursue in a different manner. Like if you are young, then I hope the experience doesn't help, right? But at the same time, you see, all the experienced personalities have gotten a good stature, good level of understanding, and they have gotten a good thing, right? So if we are operating them and giving them chance to actually get in and penetrate through the right path, so I think they do it fantastically. But at the same time, I feel managing them out is one task.
Right. So, in your words, in your own words, why don't you tell our audience a little bit of your story for Inside FVV?
Uh, got it.
In short.
Got it. It's I'll tell about myself. So I did my graduation from uh, VIT Vellore. I had studied in Doon College in Dehradun itself, and then I did my ISB from Hyderabad itself. Did an MBA there, and it's been quite a journey though. But talking about my perspective here in Gujarat has been very different because the people here has that has that adrenaline rush of getting into business and getting those skill sets. Because one of my major partners, I would actually like to highlight him, Arit Chaudhary. He is, I think, Marwadi Jain. So what he has in mind is very different, and the blood which I have been coming across is very different. So we have gotten a good bonding though, but at the same time, all of it would encircle and keep it at one place. It's all about strength, composure, and perseverance at the same time. You need to have it. So that is how we were going ahead with things. And if I would like to just highlight with the numbers yet, so we have laid about 5,000 plus drones across India. We have given it to elite paras forces, artillery, EME, infantry, all of it. So I mean, be it in the numbers right now, we were even we stood first among all the listed companies out there in Himdronathon, which happened in Leh last year. So that was like one of the major challenges for us to get over the line. But yeah, we did it so far. So good.
And you did it well, right? So, what is your 2 cents to the young blood here who want to have their own startups?
No, I mean, it's all about. I really feel aggression has worked best for me because I also have represented Surat in boxing championship as well. So I think that's pretty much in my blood though. But apart from that, I feel consistency is key, no matter what. Staying consistent and relevant in the industry is must, because obviously you guys would be facing a lot of challenges, right? Be it hook and crook uh, from the baseline to getting at the top level. So I think that brings us the whole picture into this mind. So that is how it goes
Right,
about it.
right. No, thank you so much for being here with us. And I would like to really thank you on behalf of the audience for sharing your story and sharing your insights. And more power to you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so
Right.
much, ma'am.
I'd like to invite Mr. Kedar Pandya to felicitate Sudivyan Bharadwaj. Thank you so much. All right, like a proper startup, we've been going zigzag, zigzag, and changing the how do I say the agenda. I mean, all of us in the startup ecosystem are so used to this. It is like in our blood, and we, yes, that's how our life is. And I think that's our adrenaline rush, right? We thrive on it. So, coming to our panel discussion, the highlight of today, South Gujarat has been a powerhouse of enterprise. But what does its next phase of growth look like? This panel brings together diverse voices to discuss how the region can accelerate towards the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. Let's move on to an interesting panel discussion, South Gujarat Engine, Growth Engine, sorry, advancing the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. So may I now invite Mr. Kashyap Pandya, the moderator, and the panelists to kindly join us on stage as I introduce them. Just because we're running right on time, I would just like to invite, as I call out your name, please come on to the stage. Mr. Kashyap Pandya, he's a charter member at TAI, and he's a seasoned strategic management and brand consultant with a strong track record in building and scaling new age ventures. As a founder of Syncoro Ventures and co-founder of Brahmved Ventures, he is actively driving startup growth and catalyzing innovation, particularly in the AI ecosystem. Next, I'd like to call upon Mr. Hiren Lathia. He's the founder of Skyly. He is a leading entrepreneur in India's fashion e-commerce space. He has over a decade of experience in building scalable D2C brands. As a co-founder and CEO of Sudati and chairman of e-commerce committee at SGCCI. He actively drives MSME growth, digital transformation, and ecosystem development. Next, I'd like to call upon Mr. Kushan Patel. He's the founder and CEO of Quad Softtech, and he brings over 17 years of experience in building scalable mobile app solutions across Android and iOS platforms. Next, I'd like to call upon Mr. Sandeep Vinubhai Kathiria. He's the founder of EasyCell Services Private Limited. He's an accomplished entrepreneur driving one of India's fastest growing e-commerce growth platforms for MSMEs. And he has deep expertise in D2C, digital transformation, and marketplace strategy. Next, I'd like to call upon Mr. Chintan Shah. He's the founder and CEO of Solance Energy. Solance Energy is driving the adoption of affordable and accessible solar systems across India. He's featured on Shark Tank India Season 4 and is focused on simplifying solar adoption through innovative end to end platforms spanning installation, financing, and maintenance. And last but not the least, I'd like to invite Mr. Chetan Kanani. He's the founder of Alpino Health Foods, and he is on a mission to transform India's health food landscape with natural, high protein breakfast products. From a Surat based startup to a 100 plus crore venture, his journey highlighted on Shark Tank India reflects strong growth, investor confidence, and a focus on clean, accessible nutrition. Uh, Mr. Kashyap Pandya, over to you to take charge of the panel. Excuse me. Yes.
Hello, everyone. I think we have a very interesting panel today, and the topic is South Gujarat Growth Engine. Friends, some regions work very hard to create opportunities, and some regions are blessed with it. And I think South Gujarat is one of those regions where blessings meet enterprise. And I think all these entrepreneurs have been blessed by opportunities and luck and a lot of hard work. And that's why we are here today to discuss that. Uh, Friends, when we talk about Viksit Bharat, okay, we talk about great infrastructure growth, GDP of 30 to 40 billion dollars. Uh, we talk about probably per capita income of $18,000 in 2047. We are in 2026. Surat already has a GDP per capita income of 3.7 lakhs, which would, if we grow at 7%, we'll probably reach $18,000 anyway. So I think that way, I think we would say that South Gujarat in general and Surat in particular is already Viksit. And if you're already Viksit, how do you contribute to this journey of Viksit Bharat in the next 21 years? So you don't just become part of the Viksit Bharat journey, you accelerate it. And I think that's what all these entrepreneurs are doing, that they are scaling their ventures, they are accelerating this journey. And also very interestingly, this mix of entrepreneurs, I think one observation is uh, this is a startup seminar, and startup seminar cannot be complete without amazing online players. So we have Sandeep Bhai from Easy Sell, uh, one of the major player in the e-commerce space, not only in Surat but probably across India, especially in the fashion and lifestyle space. So big round of applause for Sandeep Kathiria. Uh, I think when we talk about Surat, so we always talk about Surat nu Jaman and Kashi nu Maran. So Surat means food, and that's why we have Alpino Health Foods, Alpesh Kathiria, Kanani with us. Okay, so in Surat we cannot have anything without food. So I think Alpesh runs a very interesting health food venture called Alpino. I think, and first of all, congratulations, Alpesh, for opening your first protein cafe. Alpesh recently opened India's first protein cafe very recently. Uh, then obviously, when we talk about Surat, textile and diamond, we talk about textile. So I think we have Hiren Bhai with us. Skyly is one of the leading sari brands in online space, doing fantastic in that work. So I think a big round of applause for Hiren Bhai, because from a traditional commodity product, he has got into a branded space in the sari space. I think that's a great initiative by Hiren Bhai. So textile is represented by that. Also, I think in Surat, we call Diamond City. So we have Kushal Patel. So Kushal is a founder of Quartz of Tech. And so he actually represents two industries in Surat. One is an IT industry, which is a very amazing industry and very, I would say, understated, under valued rather. Okay. And besides representing IT industry, Kushal provides software to diamond industry. And I think most of the leading diamond players use Kushal software for many, many years. So thank you so much, Kushal, for joining. And obviously, most interesting, I think, in one of the session earlier, someone mentioned that Surat is emerging as a solar hub, a renewable hub. So we have with us Chintan from Solance Energy, which is a very interesting startup in the solar renewable space. So if you see this mix of entrepreneurs, online player, food, textile, diamond, renewables. So friends, this is South Gujarat on stage. So big round of applause for them. So I think before we begin, I think let's ask each of the panelists to introduce themselves and talk about their Vikas journey before we talk about Viksit Bharat. Let's start with Sandeep.
हाय एवरीवन मेरा नाम संदीप है और मैं ई कॉमर्स इंडस्ट्री से बिलोंग करता हूँ आई रन ई कॉमर्स ग्रोथ एक्सेलरेटर एंड वी हेल्प स्मॉल MSMEs brands from Surat, manufacturers from Surat, to scale their journey from local offline to online business. And we help more than 24,000 sellers to get their journey on marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, and other Myntra and all. So we see that Surat as an fashion capital of India. I can say that Surat is mini Paris, just like other cities, and we have to create so many brands from Surat, so that can be synonymous between Paris and India.
Hi everyone, myself Hiran Lathia. So I have been into this industry from last 10 years. We have very simple motto, like in the beginning of the session, as we understood from the Suzuki R&D. Like business can be done in a two way. If you want to do sustainable business, either you can do R&D, or either you can reduce the wastage in current process. So like Surat is the biggest textile hub, and we are saying that we don't want to develop the fashion, we want to organize the fashion. So now we are working with more than 200 people, working with just-in-time inventory. Our model is like keeping 3 lakhs inventory, and every month you need to sell 3 lakhs inventory by doing the just-in-time. So either you can sustainable by doing new R&D, or you can work sustainability in your present process. So we are working, like Surat is the 1,50,000 crore textile market in a year. And we find that if we want to organize this fashion with the market, then 100%, as Sandeep told, we can generate more than 5 to 6 brand. So in this journey, like for our two brand, like from the Shark Tank, Piyush, Anupam and Aman has joined for our two brand. So we believe that this objective or motto, what we are thinking, can generate good number of brand from the Surat by organizing the fashion.
Hello everyone, this is Kushan from Quad Softtech. As told that we have developed software for diamond industry and major key players are using our software for diamond scanning. But we have also developed Industry 4.0 solutions for textile industries as well. And major textile manufacturer and any other industry manufacturers are also using our system to actively monitor production and everything using their IoT based systems. Thank you.
हेलो एवरीवन, माय नेम इज चिंतन शाह एंड आवर कंपनी नेम इज सोलेंस एनर्जी। हम लोग सोलर ईपीसी बिजनेसेस में हैं और यहाँ पे हम लोग रेसिडेंशियल, इंडस्ट्रियल, ग्राउंड माउंटेड यूटिलिटी स्केल के प्रोजेक्ट्स करते हैं। वी आर इनटू 10 प्लस सिटीज़ ऑल ओवर इंडिया। और जैसे सर ने बोला कि विकसित भारत के बारे में, तो सूरत एडॉप्शन में पहला नंबर है, चाहे वो टेक्सटाइल हो, केमिकल हो, डायमंड हो। अभी सोलर नया है, तो जैसे नीरव भाई मेरे मित्र ही है, उन्होंने बताया कि 50% ऑफ सोलर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज गोइंग फ्रॉम साउथ गुजरात। तो पहले तो अपने के लिए क्लैप हो जाए कि सूरत एडॉप्शन में इतना माहिर है पूरे इंडिया में। थैंक यू।
Hi everybody, how are you? Just get up. I think everybody after the lunch, Kashyap bhai ne bola about the food. But hope it's a good session and very much looking forward to. So about me, as Kashyap bhai mentioned that one of the food, but what we sell is health. What we sell is nutrition. What we sell is awareness. And this we have been building. I think one of the tagline, uh, probably regional aspiration and global ambition. So this is what we are trying to do from this city of the Surat. We've started almost 9 years back now, and it's a global brand now. We are not just selling in India, but we are available across the world, probably more than 10 plus countries. So it was very small idea, which definitely with the convictions, with the compounding, with the consistency we have built so far, and we still understand this is not that we are trying to build. I think the ambitions are very high, and will eventually make Surat more proud with the Alpino. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for your introduction, guys. So I think, friends, when we talk about Surat, Surat is a primarily traditional industry. You know, we are a transaction economy. But I think now slowly we are moving from transaction economy to a value creation economy. And probably Chetan's Alpino is one example. The kind of value they have created, value in terms of not just valuation, but a value in terms of consumers' mind of appreciating that brand. Okay, I think that mindset shift is very important. That now we are not looking at transaction or money tomorrow, but we are creating value which we'll realize over a period of time. So Chetan, I think let's talk about you first, okay? Because I think you build a brand, which is a very unusual thing from a city like Surat, because we are like city of traders, we are city of commodity traders. I think so. How do you in your journey, what is that thing that helped you, or you did it differently, that Alpino has managed to create this brand, and probably now you're almost pan India operating. So what is that one thing that helped you create Alpino as a very strong brand?
So as Kashyap mentioned, I think when it comes to Surat, definitely it is all about ki sabko dhanda susta hai. And this is what I've been hearing the day that we started Alpino. But from the day one, it was very clear in our mind that we don't want to build the business. Definitely, business is the outcome, but we want to create a brand. Aaj, be it into fashion, all the brands, Zara, Gucci, why we are paying the manufacturing cost, being a capital, being a manufacturing city of the textile, we all know. But why they are selling at very premium price? Just because of the brand. And that's was the first ambition that we want to create. Whatever products we sell, whatever services we sell, we don't want to just sell. We don't want to do B2B trading. We don't want to be in a similar category that everybody is doing. We want to build a brand where people are aspire that if I want to be healthy, if I want to be make my body like I don't want to get older, they are going for aspiration. Product is something that they are switching every day, but the brand is something that they're sticking to. Just a small question: how many of you goes to gym, like any sort of workout activities? Very few. And I think as we grow older, this is something that we'll be realizing very late, but I think this is the wake up call. The segment that we are talking within Alpino is the protein. And I think आज everybody must have heard the protein so far, specifically after COVID. So this we have been doing since 9 years. Like the COVID is 3 4 years, but the idea that has came, it was around 9 years ago. And why? Because one of the category that we are in, which is peanut centric. um, like most of you don't know that India is the second largest producer of the peanuts after China, and specifically out of that, even 50% goes out of India. So we thought what they are making out of it, and surprisingly, the peanut butter specific industry is $3.5 billion in USA. Why? Because they have already adopted the protein consumptions way back. We are very late, even though being a country from India where the peanut is our ancestors still grows the peanuts. Why we don't have the awareness? And this was the pain point that we have started with. We don't want to make a peanut butter again. We want to create a brand who sells the peanut butter. We want to create a brand which sells the aspiration to become a healthy and the nutritious and make your body fitter. So this is how. So starting from the small city, definitely you have to keep your mind global. You cannot think ki, I will compete with my neighbor, I will compete with the local brands, but you think globally that I'll compete with them. And this is, we have been benchmarking from the day one. This is what setting us apart so far.
Fantastic. I think it's great to see young guys from Surat talking about brands, because I think that's a major. I think Chetan, that's inspiration for a lot of guys. And when we talk about brand, let me come to Sandeep, because Sandeep runs Easy Sell and one of their platform is Brand Central, and he has been giving opportunity to manufacturers and brand owners on about how to sell online. So Sandeep, what's your experience dealing with these guys? That what is the mindset shift and how they are looking at business now and how you guys are helping them?
Thank you, Gasha, for the nice question. Uh, there are so many manufacturers. Since decades, 3 4 decades, they are manufacturing clothes from Surat. So they are manufacturer of sari, kurti, dress material. When when you go with them and ask them about digitalization, can you sell your products online? The first question they ask, I don't know computer. I don't want to sell it. Bringing them on the platform like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, and all. The first question is you have to ask them to adapt a computer, right? They always say us like that, ये प्रोडक्ट है मेरे को 100 रुपए में बनता है, अब 120 रुपए में लेके जाओ बेचो, हमें ये नहीं करना है, ठीक है? So I helped Amazon to get 24,000 sellers on Amazon platform, right? So I took the challenge on that. Can I help this customers also to get their journey online? So we partnered with them. We grow their business from scratch to e-commerce giants. So let me give you one example. We partnered with one of the Surat is known for ethnic wear, right? So we took the challenge. Can we change that? We took the challenge and we started a shirt manufacturing in Surat. We took one brand from 10 lakh rupees a month to 2 crore rupees a month. With in this journey, they get nearly two years. They get 2 crore rupees a month, right? What we have done, we had done everything one by one. We first of all we helped them to set up the SOP of productions. Then after we set them a SOP for designing. Then we set the process for how to do prediction analysis for trending trends and manufacturing and inventory. And then after then we scaled them on the marketplaces, right? So we help more than 200 brands to get their journey on digital platforms. So Surat as on they can manufacture anything. If you say I want this type of cloth, they can manufacture. But when you say that can you sell it to across the India, across the globe, they will ask my territory is Bihar Mandi, right? So now you have to, so we break that ki you are not meant for Bihar Mandi. You are not for the UP Mandi because the color combination in India works a different way. What are the colors sold in south that cannot be sold in north, right? What are the products sold in north that cannot be sold in south? So think about that. You work with one of the entrepreneurs or Surat brand who is manufacturing some of the product for some of the cities since decade, and you have to completely change them, and you have to adapt, you have to be able to adapt them about you can also grow global, right? So we help them, and as a brand central, we help every brand to grow their journey on the marketplaces or digital first.
Great. So I think from Bihar Mandli to global Mandli, I think that's the mindset shift we are talking about. And I think Hirinbhai has actually done that. I think sari is a kind of a commodity segment. And in that segment, you very successfully build a sari brand. Okay. So Hirinbhai, what is your learning of building that sari brand? Because I'm sure that there must be 100 guys telling you, Hirinbhai, java do. ઓકે એ તમે પેલા ટેક્સટાઇલ માર્કેટમાં ટ્રેડિંગ કરો બ્રાન્ડ નહીં બનાવો so what is your experience and what things that you did it amazingly well that probably some of us can learn from it?
I believe for any business is the combination of many factors. One is the like product, operation, quality, customer, and every business, every leader, like we are sitting here like three or four, five leader, right? All five leader has a different quality. So we understood that one is product demand. Sari is in the demand, but the biggest problem till today already Sandeep has highlighted. Every Indian corner is a different color combination demand. Like if you go to South India, you will find Nalli, and if you are talking Gujarat, you will find Ashopalav in the Ahmedabad. They are doing pretty good in the sari. So at the same time, you are not finding any single brand which is available in the India, and you can find all the combination of the sari within that brand. But at the same time, that brand should be accessible. When I say accessible, means the price range should not be high, because in the India there is a two kind of market. When we are saying India, as like our prime minister is saying that we are talking the Bharat story. So in the coming Bharat, people have the purchasing capacity, but that is not like they want to offer like Zara or West Side. Like India's new upcoming market is tier 2 and tier 3. So हम लोगों का fix था we want to create the story for tier 2 and tier 3. Our 75% demand is coming from tier 2 and tier 3 city. What we are giving like for tier 2 and tier 3, like many people are talking the fast fashion. We are sitting in the Surat, and if we want to curate the fashion, then it is not a big challenge. So every week we are curating 100 new sari, which should be aligned with the upcoming fashion for every city. Like South India, Onam is coming, then our target is for the Onam. Like in the current, like marriage season is coming in the Bihar or North India, then we'll be getting good number of collection for them. So we have organized in such a way that people should not think that they want to buy from the nearby shop. They can get the same kind of collection, same kind of feel with the same rate. So we are organizing the fashion by doing the process work, because we are not doing anything which is not there in the market. Fashion was there. We are not the pioneer in the fashion. We are not saying that we have done something good in the fashion. Fashion was heritage with the India. Like Indian heritage is very old in the fashion, but we are trying to make that accessible with the good rate. So we are not saying that, as we are saying now, like Gucci, Prado, they are selling the Indian fashion with 70,000, 80,000, and which is coming in the market also. Like they are selling Prado is saying this North Indian talent 80,000 rupees shoes, but they are not recognizing India. So we are doing the same thing. We want to recognize our own Indian talent with the accessible rate, so everybody should grow together.
Great. So I think one thing that you mentioned, fast fashion, and I think to be adaptive and faster in that your space, I think I'm sure you must be using some kind of technology solution. And let me come to Kushal that, because I think Kushal and Chintan both, I think these three guys are doing branding. Okay, whereas Kushal and Chintan are in the innovation space, in the technology space. So Kushal, you have worked with diamond industry. Okay, so our perception is diamond industry is not very tech savvy, because you don't need a great qualification, so to say, to enter that space. You have to run drone company like IPV guys, okay, I need to be qualified to create a drone. But in diamond, there are no entry barriers. Now, to sell a technology solution, what is your learning? And because I think what we realize now that diamond industry has scaled globally, the kind of scale diamond companies have in Surat is phenomenal. Okay, so how did you manage to provide solution, a technology solution to that industry?
Major challenge in diamond industries was to display the diamond to the customers and users and industry which are consuming their diamonds. So we have provided solution to 360 photography of the diamond, and anyone can easily view the diamond entirely from any angle using our systems. And apart of diamond also, we have developed Industry 4.0 solutions for any industry. Using that systems, we can actively monitor any machinery. So on single screen, you can visualize every machinery and which help improve productivity of existing resources. And people are experiencing 10 to 20% of productivity increase in by using these systems, because this system also provide intimations, like if machine is stopped for longer amount of time, then it intimate directly on the WhatsApp group, so that action is also taken in real time. So they are getting great productivity using those kind of systems.
Great, great. So I think now let me come to Chintan that, I think in solar and renewable space, innovation is very, very important. Okay. So in this region, to make it actually a growth engine, and, I think technology is important, branding is important, value creation is important. But at the same time, innovation plays a very, very important role, especially in your space. So how do you see innovation playing a critical role in the growth journey for players in your space?
So when we started our company in 2021, हमने एक एप्लीकेशन के बारे में सोचा कि तब एप्लीकेशन सोलर ईपीसी में नहीं थी, तो वी हैव मेड आवर ओन एप्लीकेशन जहाँ पे कस्टमर आए, वहाँ पे अपना बिल एंटर कर सके और उनको कितनी किलोवाट की रिक्वायरमेंट है, क्या पैनल का प्राइस है। तब प्रॉब्लम ये होती थी कि अगर आप कोटेशन लेने जाओ तो एक ही डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, एक ही ब्रांड से आपको अलग अलग रेट्स मिलते थे। तो आप वही चीज़ एप्लीकेशन पे कंपेयर कर सकते हो, टेक्निकल, फाइनेंशियल, वहीं से आप O&M कर सकते हो, वहीं से आप सर्विस बुक कर सकते हो, अपना प्रोजेक्ट का स्टेटस ट्रैक कर सकते हो। तो कस्टमर को इतना ईजी प्रोसेस लगता है कि कस्टमर इतना सेटिस्फाई होता है वही चीज़ से। तो वो चीज़ इनोवेशन, मतलब एप्लीकेशन जो टेक्नोलॉजी है वो हर बिजनेस में वो आनी चाहिए।
Great, great. So I think now one curious question for all of you. I think when we talk about South Gujarat, when we talk about Surat, okay, we always say that, okay, Surat has the disadvantage that we are not a metro, we don't have a ecosystem, we don't have investors. But I think Surat also has some unfair advantages, and because of that you guys are here, and that's the reason why Surat is one of the fastest growing city in the world. Last 10 years probably we have grown 11% per annum. So I think, what do you think has helped you guys being in Surat, and what is the unfair advantage that you have taken in your growth journey? Sandeep?
So when I started my journey in 2012, 11, 12, so I was pass out from master in IT. So जैसे अभी आज के दिन में सब बोलते हैं एआई का जमाना है, एआई विल डिस्टर्ब एवरीथिंग, तो उस टाइम पे ये बोला जाता था ई कॉमर्स इज द नेक्स्ट गेम चेंजर। और जैसे मैं सूरत आया, मुझे लगा कि सूरत तो बहुत ऑर्गेनाइज मार्केट होगा। आई वाज इन पुणे, तो मैं काफ़ी सारे दुकान में गया, जाके देखा तो सब कुछ ऐसा चल रहा है कि मतलब किसी को बोलो ईमेल लिखना है, बोले वो क्या होता है, राइट। सो आई टुक द एडवांटेज ऑफ दैट कि सूरत के अंदर इतना सारा बिजनेस है, इतने सो मोर देन 1,70,000 B2B ऑफलाइन शॉप्स है जो बहुत सारे डिजाइन बनाते हैं। दे एवरी डे, एवरी मंथ एक दुकान कम से कम 15-20 डिजाइन तो मिनिमम बनाता है। तो आप सोचो कितने सारे नए प्रोडक्ट्स डिजाइन हो रहे हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्लोथिंग एंड ऑल, राइट। सिमिलर मैंने देखा ज्वेलरी बिजनेस ऑल्सो इन सूरत, ज्वेलरी बिजनेस में भी सिमिलर है, आप डिजाइन लेके आओ मैं बना के दूंगा, राइट। सो आई टुक द सेकंड चैलेंज ऑल्सो कि यहाँ पे तो ये दोनों ही बिजनेस ऐसे है कि जिसके माध्यम से हम अपने बिजनेस को स्केल्स कर सकते हैं, एंड दैट परसीव्ड सो मच वैल्यू। सो व्हेन आई से दैट वी टुक द चैलेंज ऑन दैट कि इन 2016 अमेजोन के ऊपर ऑफिशियली 1 लाख सेलर थे, एंड वी टुक द चैलेंज कि हम 3000 सेलर बनाएंगे, मतलब 3000 नए सेलर उनके लिए लेके आएंगे, मतलब 3000 ब्रांड के प्रोडक्ट्स को लेके आएंगे. दैट वाज द चैलेंज. और उस चैलेंज में देर आर टू मैनी थिंग्स. हम जैसे शॉप में घुसते थे, हम बोलते थे ऑनलाइन है, तो बोलते रिटर्न आएगा, जाओ भाई यहाँ से नहीं करना. ठीक है, तो हमने एक सिंपल सोचा कि यहाँ पे लोग काम कैसे करते हैं. यहाँ पे एक बिजनेस होता है रेफरेंस से. यदि आप गुजरात में हो और सूरत में हो, जब तक आपके पास रेफरेंस नहीं है, आपके पास पैसा होने के बावजूद भी आप बिजनेस नहीं कर सकते. राइट, तो आई टुक द चैलेंज. हमने उस मंडली में से या जो भी 15-20 शॉप थे ना, उनमें से एक को ऑनबोर्ड किया. वो एक को ऑनबोर्ड किया और उसका स्टोरी हमने 10 को बताया, और वो 10 का स्टोरी जो था ना, उसमें से हमें 5 और मिल गए. सो दैट्स हाउ वी टुक द लेवरेज ऑफ सूरत सिटी की. एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सिटी है, यहाँ बहुत सारे डिजाइन है, पैटर्न्स है. यहाँ काफी बड़ा गैप है टेक्नोलॉजी का और एजुकेशन का, in terms of e-commerce, digital literacy. So we took the challenge and we literate them also. We train them for 6 or 8 years. और हम लोगों ने उनको भी अपस्केल किया, अपने बिजनेस को भी अपस्केल किया. So just like solar industry, Surat is the third largest seller base of any website, right? So this is the fourth industry which is in Surat, right? आप अभी सूरत में कोई एक गले में, मतलब एक गली मोहल्ले में चले जाओ, लगभग एक आपको बंदा मिल जाएगा कि जो ऑनलाइन करता होगा, राइट? सो यू कैन ऑल्सो लेवरेज सो मेनी थिंग्स. अभी भी बहुत सारे गैप है, जैसे उन्होंने बोला सोलार में है, डायमंड में है, ज्वेलरी में है. मुझे तो लगता है ज्वेलरी में बहुत बड़ा गैप है. पूरे वर्ल्ड को ज्वेलरी हम बना के देते हैं, और यहाँ से एक ब्रांड का नाम आप देखो कि वर्ल्ड वाइड चलता हो, राइट? देयर आर टू मच गैप ऑन द डेट. So we can work on that, and anybody can work on that. Thank you.
Fantastic. So I think identifying, the gap and leveraging the unfair advantage. So I think probably the unfair advantage is Sandeep had that knowledge of technology and how do I introduce technology to people who doesn't use it. So I think, but at the same time, I think one common complaint that, in the startup ecosystem has, and I think Chetan would relate to it, that, in cities like Surat, we don't have access to capital, because to grow any business, whether it's startup or a traditional business, I think we need resources. And when it comes to resources, typically, traditionally, we used to go to our uncles and relatives for money. Okay. But now I think in this new age investor game, Surat probably has a disadvantage. So, Chetan, what is your experience that access to capital and how do you solve that?
सो पैसा है बहुत एक्चुअली है. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली एन एडवांटेज, आई वुड से. इट इज नॉट एन डिसएडवांटेज एंड वी हैव लेवरेज इट in a way, because यहाँ पे the capital is there. Everybody knows that कि सूरत में उतना पैसा है, everybody can understand, but it's upon you that how you are leveraging, because by doing the typical same business you cannot acquire those capital. You, because the investors who is putting money on you, they are putting on you, you don't need to spend it somewhere else, where now the same investor will not fund to another startups. And this is where the strictness of the comes. We talk about the VC, why VC write such a long term sheet, why the capital takes time, wherein Surat it's easier to take the money from your relatives or let's say common network of investors, but we are lacking discipline. This is given. Why? Because probably we are not very much compliant about that where the fund should be utilized. And this is we have been, and this is the advantage that we have been disciplined from the day one. Because even if you are taking money from your investors, let's say initially though we have put our own money from the family's money, that is not a problem, because this was a risk. But when you grow, when you grow your business and you are taking the investment, you're taking the fund from your local investor, or let's say any sort of investors, the responsibility is more upon you, your business, how you're managing the capital, whether you're giving them good return or good return or not. So I would say the discipline is lacking. I would not say the fund is lacking. It is available in a huge capacity, but we need to develop this. And now I think probably we have seen the stats that a lot of angel investors are coming out of India. specifically from the Surat and Gujarat, because now they are understanding the business, the fundamental of the startups, that it can be maximized, it can be multiplied over a period of time. But yeah, as a startup, it is our responsibility to make it a serious money out of it, and definitely we are here to give them the return. But it should be disciplined, it should be capitalized in a way that it should be capitalized, it should be strict, it should be that you're spending on a right thing to build your startups. So uh, the fund is there, you need to, it's upon you that how you're utilizing. You don't need to change the game of the other startups, otherwise the investor will not fund to the other startups. So I would say the discipline is lacking.
Correct. So I think one question for everyone. How many of you have raised funds for your venture? Anyone from the audience who have raised funds? Let me ask this question to the panelists now. Okay, how many of you have raised funds? So I think, as you can see, in Surat also you can raise funds. I think another challenge that probably this city may have, okay, and again we can look at differently, that some people complain there is lack of talent, especially I think in tech space. Probably 10 years back, I'm sure you must be struggling with finding a good Java programmer. Okay, now we get AI guys also. Okay, that is a shift that has happened. But I think same thing applies to almost everyone, that there is no good brand manager that probably Alpino can find for their venture, and same is true for Skyly and Brand Central. So I think, do you think lack of talent is a challenge, or uh, is it because of our inability to pay right remuneration to attract that talent for our company? What is that?
So actually I would say दोनों चीजें हैं. Definitely we are not paying as much we show, and definitely the talent is also lacking, that is given. But as a startup you need to you need to figure your way out. Either hire a freelance or have somebody work on your ESOP. But yeah, the both things are there. Over to you guys. Anybody
Question?
of you?
Yeah, we have different perspective related to this talent, because even if we are having very good talent in Surat, and even we can train them and we can utilize their to take advantage.
Great. So I think, Chintan, you are in a very different space, okay, renewables, and I think you were fortunate that Surat emerged as a solar hub, okay. So how did you take advantage of that trend? Because I think it's very, very important for every startup to understand what is the trend and how do you leverage that trend. So what is your learning?
सबसे पहले तो ऐसा कह मतलब कहते हैं कि एशिया का सबसे बिगेस्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बेल्ट है वापी से तापी तक का. तो आज इंडस्ट्री इतनी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है. मैं एक एग्जांपल लेता हूँ कि लेट्स से एक टेक्सटाइल ओनर है, उनकी सबसे ज़्यादा जो कॉस्ट आती है मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की, तो पहली एक रॉ मटेरियल है, एक लेबर है और तीसरी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कॉस्ट है. तो ऊपर की दोनों चीज़ें वो कहीं ना कहीं कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ करके मतलब 5-10% कम कर सकते हैं, ज़्यादा कम नहीं कर सकते. बट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कॉस्ट ऐसी है कि वो सिग्निफिकेंटली कम कर सकते हैं. तो लेट्स से आज किसी का 16 रुपया मीटर कपड़ा पड़ रहा है और उनकी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कॉस्ट लेट्स से कि 5 रुपीज़ आ रही है. आज समझो कि आपने सोलर लगवा दिया, अभी आपकी कॉस्ट हो गई 10 रुपया, आप 11 रुपये में बेच सकते हो. और हिरेन बाई की कॉस्ट आ रही है अभी 15 रुपया. अगर वो सोलर नहीं डालेंगे तो उनकी फैक्ट्री सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएगी. तो वही चीज़ से आज इंडस्ट्री इतनी ग्रो हो गई है, लगभग 45-50% CAGR से. तो वो एक एडवांटेज हमारे लिए था एज अ सोलर EPC बिजनेस.
Fantastic. So I think, as you can see that, when we talk about growth engine, I think South Gujarat has always been on a hyper growth mode. So I think, let me open this panel for everyone. I think we have Thai Surat president and founder president Sanjay Bhai and Jignesh Bhai with us. So Sanjay Bhai, I think some of these founders have been part of our Thai journey. What is your probably suggestion or advice to these young guys, that how they can kind of help accelerate this growth journey? Because we are talking about Viksit Bharat, which is a very ambitious thing, and these are young entrepreneurs. So how these young entrepreneurs can be part of the Viksit Bharat journey?
So it's very, very simple that we have to adopt that screw technology. Once that you are growing up, you have to take that other people with you. And now you have to be a mentor and you have to find the mentees and you have to take that the whole ecosystem on the upper side. That's the only solution that every city has.
Fantastic. So I think from having a mentor to becoming a mentor, I think that's very, very important that how do we pass on our learning to the upcoming entrepreneurs. So friends, I think we can have a couple of questions before we kind of close this session. Any questions for our panelists? Anyone? Yeah, please.
So hello. Right now, everyone talks about AI in this field. Okay. So what do you guys think about AI as a advantage or as a competitive edge?
Well, you can start. I think. Yeah.
Our textile industries is very much lagging behind to technology adoption. So we have provided a platform to have as much data as possible. So data is crude for AI, and we are having data of each and every production activities like number of stoppages, production, and how much production is done on machines. We have single screen for entire machinery. So we have this kind of data which can be used for next generation technologies and some breakdown analysis and everything.
Sandeep, you want to add?
So if your question is like that, can AI replace human work? No, right? But can you increase your productivity with the use of AI? Yes, right. If you wanted, if in early days in Surat, if you see there are so many studios for photo shoot. Nowadays, you just have to wear your products on mannequin and upload on the AI. They can generate the photo shoot, right? If you learn that how to do this in a better way, AI can help you in the grow business. If you don't learn that and you're still managing everything on your Photoshop or any other page, any other softwares, right? So you will not probably get any new things to learn. Yesterday I given one example to one of the fine art student. He said that I wanted to become a pursue my journey in fine art, and I wanted to be a sketch artist. I said that do you really want to? Because nowadays AI is disturbing anything, right? He's just 12th pass students. So I took one photograph, put it on ChatGPT, and give him a description about artisans, and tell him about to create my portrait photos with pencils, pencil like shades and all. He created entire portrait photo with handwritten, hand like a portrait photos. Then he said that then this is my waste of 3 years, right? So I just wanted to say that you have to learn that with the use of technology you can do so much better things. With the use of AI you can do too many things.
Yeah. So last question from
Mr. Kushan Patel. So my question was belonging to a family business into the diamond industry. I just wanted to ask if you have any kind of AI model or products which can help us in planning, because our most of the time is into the planning of diamond. And another thing, we want a kind of AI which can help us in classifying whether it is CVD diamond or natural diamond, because we are into the natural diamond, and we are facing these issues is just because of the CVD diamonds. So if this kind of AI model or product will be innovated by you, if it becomes common to all the public available in the India, then the trust on the natural diamond and CVD diamond will be classified, and people will prefer more to the natural diamonds, and the value will come back again.
But certification and everything is available from beginning also. So they are classifying that diamond is real or CVD already, and some.
And one more thing, I asked that the planning, diamond planning kind of AI.
Planning already, planning softwares are already providing the optimized solutions for which kind of diamonds will be there on rough is already there. I think that is based on AI or something like that only. It is it is prior to AI, but it is already optimized using that only.
Great. I think, thank you guys. I think before we end, just one quick round of last closing remarks. I think we also have policymakers here. So, as an entrepreneur, if you anyway on a growth journey, but to accelerate your growth journey, what is your expectation from policymakers to accelerate your journey? Because I think most of you guys have grew without any support from government of policymakers. But I think if you get the right kind of support, I think especially the solar industry is a classic example of it. So, what kind of support you would expect if you have a one-to-one with Sir? What will you tell him?
So first of all, we wanted to encourage export, and for e-commerce export, there are too much litigations right now in the market, right? The small unit of products goes from Surat to US. There are a huge gap between that we can solve. That is called e-commerce policy for shipping and all. There are some gap, right? Because of direct payment comes at 1,000 rupees, $1,000, and Amazon deducts some of the commissions and logistic. The 20 rupees or $20, which is not set, right, and not compliant. So there are so many small issues like that. Uh, Government can introduce some e-commerce policy like China. China is doing too much, 30 billion worth rupees of D2C export for their marketplaces like Temu and AliExpress. So we can be simplified in a many ways, right? Because this is not bulk shipment; these are simple small shipments. So we can encourage Surat as in South Gujarat to get D2C or digital export. That's a small shipment export, not the bigger shipment exports.
So I think most of the brand guys would say we don't need any support from a government. Let us do our work, right? And I think solar has already got a lot of support, so don't ask more. Okay. So I think let's conclude this session. I think we were talking about Viksit Bharat 2047. I think we have 21 years to go, and all these young guys have another probably 2 decades to be in that business. So we hope that they also grow and significantly contribute to this Viksit Bharat journey. And as we say, that growth is not about where you start, but where you choose to go. So I think thank you so much, guys, for spending your time, and thank you to the audience for their patient listening. Thank you so much.
True, that truly was a very insightful panel with showcasing how the strength of South Gujarat is going to help take this agenda of Viksit Bharat 2047 forward. Thank you so much. I'd like to invite Mr. Satyarth Srivastav to present a token of appreciation to Shri Kashyap Pandya. I'd like to invite Ms. Shruti Surendran to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Chintan Shah. I'd like to invite Mr. Parth Dalwadi to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Kushan Patel. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. I'd like to invite Ms. Riya Singha to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Chetan Kanani. I'd like to invite Mr. Pranav Pandya to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Sandeep Kathiria. I'd like to invite Mr. R.D. Barat to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Hirender Lathiria. Let's put our hands together for this whole panel. And can we have the panel back here for a group photograph, please? So India's startup story is no longer limited to tier 1 cities. It's more exciting innovation now emerging from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. This session explores how local talent, regional strength, and growing infrastructures are shaping the next wave of breakout startups, perhaps from cities just like yours. So I invite Mr. Chintan D. Shah, Chartered Accountant and Startup Advisor, to share his thoughts on why the next big startup will come from your city. Mr. Chintan D. Shah is a seasoned professional advising startups and enterprises on finance, taxation, and governance. A startup mentor at Government of Gujarat and IIM Bodh Gaya. He also serves as an independent director and actively contributes to the startup and policy ecosystem. So he's going to talk about the advantages that emerging cities offer startups today and how founders can leverage these strengths to build scalable and competitive businesses. Let's put our hands together and welcome him on stage.
Good evening, everyone. I said good evening. Yeah. So, thank you for the opportunity to me to share about something related to startup. But let me talk about startup from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, right? So, will the next big startup come from your city? This is what we need to talk, what we'll discuss, and how this is possible, right? Next. Even without the PPT, no worries. So the basic point to discuss over our topic is that how the tier 2 and tier 3 cities or small towns think about bringing their startups. When we talk about South Gujarat region, we have a long belt when we talk about Navsari, Valsad, Dang, and down till Umargaon. We have long ideas and all the young entrepreneurs coming up with the ideas that they need to start. Now, what are the problems or the hurdles this 2 tier, 3 tier cities youngsters are facing? This is what my experience speaks. First of all, it is lack of courage to start, and the second step, that even if you dare to start, then what next? How to scale? Or is our idea so much validated that yes, it can go to the cities or it can go to the export also? This is where I feel the 2 tier and 3 tier cities startups are not able to come up. But now this is the right time when India is progressing so well and Gujarat contributing so well. It is the right time where these small towns need to think about starting their startups. So local villages, local problems, and small towns, small problems. But these small problems give a big opportunity to convert into a business model. Let me take a very realistic examples. For example, our day-to-day activities, all the small towns is not compulsorily having big D-marts or kind of shopping malls. So why not this small kiranas, they do the technology inclination and start their own local D2C business market. A home delivery देते ही है, सब shopkeepers देते होंगे छोटे छोटे towns में. But why don't you incline with the technology and prepare your own startup? It's all about how you dare it, and you just need to start. There are many such rural area problems, or rather I would say opportunity lying, where this kind of startups need to boost up and come with the government and take all the advantage, all the hand holding required, and we are here to help you to take your startup to another scale. Many such problems. For example, there may be a problem where you can find waste management. When you go in the rural areas, you can say that there are waste management efficiencies where we can find an opportunity. So why don't we have a recycling plants at a very micro level, no huge investment requires. A real life example, let me quote you. It's about Tapi district. In a Tapi district, there is a firm called Kashi Exports LLP. What are they doing? So husband and a wife, they thought to just start something, and they acquire the mangoes, vegetable from the local farmers. They wash it, they pack it very accurately, and they are exporting to more than 20 countries. It is a very, very live example from our Tapi district. There are many such examples where it feels so much encouraging that, but it is only problem what lies with us is the courage to start. And you may say that ideas to हमारे पास बहुत आते हैं, but execution is where it is the most important that it should go, right? So first of all, if you get an idea, please write down all the pros and cons, that how this idea can work, how it cannot work. Yesterday I was discussing with somebody idea where यार AI tools तो बहुत कुछ है, चैट जीपीटी है और बहुत सारे दूसरे tools भी आ गए, लेकिन ये सभी AI tools हमारा डेटा मांगता है. You need to log in, you need to do this, you need to give your all your information. So why don't we create a startup जहाँ पे हमारी information हमें नहीं देनी है? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. From a very small town, this idea has come up. Now it's a time that how this idea can be converted into a successful startup. And many such ideas आप लोगों के दिमाग में भी आते ही होंगे, even in your daily lives. But are we taking it as an opportunity that we convert into a startup, or we dare to convert it into a startup? This is the real question. And this is where I feel that if once we get started, then we can always improve on ourselves. This is about the new ideas. Let me talk about your traditional businesses. कई बार ऐसे होते हैं कि हाँ, पिताजी का कोई बहुत अच्छा ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस चल रहा है, maybe it may be textile or any other. Why don't we bring some innovation in that? Why don't we try to bring some technology inclinement in all those kind of traditional businesses? And if we do that, then we can also have a successful startup. Another example is of a startup where they provide loans, micro loans to rural areas. Because सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या है अगर लोन लेने जाते हैं तो आईटी रिटर्न लाइए, आपका क्रेडिट स्कोर क्या है, ये क्या है, वो क्या है, all those kind of hurdles. So this startup thought an opportunity where they are giving a micro loans to all those deserving rural entrepreneurs who need very small finances, but if that is not provided, then it can hamper their businesses. तो उनके लिए दे आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम, जहाँ पे माइक्रो लेवल पे उन लोग उनकी क्रेडिबिलिटी जज करते हैं बेसिस ऑन देयर बिजनेस, नॉट कि आप आईटी रिटर्न में क्या इनकम दिखा रहे हो या क्या नहीं. सो इफ दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स कैन बी सॉल्व, then more of these startups we can bring up from the 2-tier and 3-tier cities. At the same time, while concluding on my talk, I would just like to share a few words that whenever we try to bring up an idea, there are 4 stages, right? So first stage is ideation. We just need to ensure that we don't stop on just ideation stage, and we go ahead with the execution step or a prototype making step. And when that is done, then we just need to scale up and then sustain our startups. Because when we talk about small towns and 2-tier 3-tier cities, there's a huge gap, believe me. सबको क्या लगता है कि स्टार्टअप्स अगर हम बड़े शहरों में रहते हैं, बेंगलोर, सूरत, तो ही कर सकते हैं, बट इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. देयर इज अ ह्यूज गैप, एंड वी नीड टू टेक दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी to find that we solve all the problems and build our own startup. At concluding, I like to conclude with few words that before the funding, before the fame, before even the world knew your name, there was an idea, quite unseen and quite uncertain. People questioned it, people doubt it, sometimes they laughed at it, but this is what ideas is all about. They does not need any approvals, they need courage. And if you have that courage, you can just get started. And believe me, the real investment is not money, it's mindset. And the best startup of India is not out there, it is still to come, and it is within inside you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and wish you all the best to all the aspiring startups who are trying to build something. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful session. I'd like to invite Mr. Satyarth Srivastav to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Chintan Disha. So, as we move on to our last session for today's seminar, one thing is very clear. India's next growth engine will be powered by synergy of innovation, industry, and sustainability. So, to truly enable innovation and growth, policy always plays a big role and it is very critical. So, we now turn to an overview of the policy landscape shaping and supporting startups in Gujarat. May I invite on stage Mr. Rajesh D. Barhat, who serves as Joint Commissioner of Industries, Government of Gujarat. He has played a key role in driving industrial development and MSME growth across the state. He heads the startup cell of Gujarat. With over 2 decades of experience in government administration, he actively contributes to policy implementation, startup ecosystem development, and industry facilitation initiatives in Gujarat. Let's put our hands together and welcome him on stage.
Thank you, Tejasri. Uh, and thanks to all of the audience that have been here for such a long time. My turn has come at the point where the population should be half in the initial stage. I hope this is Surat only, right? This is Surat. What is the characteristic of Surat? Surat નું શું વખણાય? જમણ અને બીજું ભાષા. I hope this is Surat only. As Tejasri introduced, I've been in the Industries Commissionerate for 23 years now. I've witnessed multiple policies over these 2+ decades of time, been mostly into the policy implementation and to some extent policy formation also, policy making also. Before I delve into the policies and the state's policy, state strategies for development, I would like to highlight that we are living into the world of paradoxes. Some paradoxes. I was just going through some of the statistics, global statistics of economy, innovations, and startups. I found it is well known, it is known to all of us that India is known to be the third largest ecosystem, startup ecosystem. At the same time, when I look through some other statistics, we are 38th in the Global Innovation Index. So there is a wide gap. While we talk about startup, immediately it comes in our mind, the innovation comes in our mind. So it has to be innovative. But that's a paradox. What I'm saying is that's a paradox. When we are boasting to be the third largest startup ecosystem, why and how can we not be the same in the ranking for Global Innovation Index? We are 38th. So that is a paradox. There are certain contributing factors that we could find out from the literature, from the statistics. Similarly, when one of the panelists said that Surat is one of the largest hub for diamonds and jewelries, but there is a lack of international brand in gems and jewelry. So that is again a paradox. We are living into the world of paradoxes. But That gives us a clue also. That gives us a clue about filling that gap, about reaching to that desired level, that reducing that gap of that, reducing that paradox situation. So we have discussed, we actually we witnessed today discussion of various budding startups ranging from drone innovation, drones, practicalities of, I mean, practical applications, various applications beyond what exactly is the conventional application. Now we also have drones into deliveries, we have drones into defense, we have drones into various other segments where we never imagined when it was invented. uh, we had a very enlightened panels today, speeches. We heard learned speakers. We also uh, we also heard a person from spiritual meaning of life, spiritual ikigai. I mean ikigai. I relate myself also to that word. When I was studying in my, I'm just digressing, huh? I'll come to the topic later. I am taking liberty for 5 minutes. When I was studying in my MBA in 1990 to 94, I came across a word, uh, I think French word, raison d'être. Raison d'être. That is, the plain meaning of that word is reason for existence. When I just found that meaning, I am frankly I'm not very sure, but I took the meaning very metaphorically or spiritually. Reason for existence. That I took the meaning as your own reason or meaning of your own existence, your life. So ikigai is again a spiritual thinking where you search for the meaning of your life and you drive your all your endeavors, all your acts, uh, guided by those meanings, those reasons for existence. Now I'll come to the point. Our efforts, state's efforts are aligned with the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, where innovation-led development will define India's growth trajectory. uh, Let me tell you that the Indian administration, the India's policy makers want our state, our country to be innovation driven. That is why I highlighted the gap between the innovation, our ranking in the innovation index, as well as our standing in the ecosystem. We are we are great ecosystem because there are various factors. We have largest number of startups. We have got very strong and resilient, robust public digital infrastructure. That is why we are higher in the global ranking in the startup ecosystem. We have very robust government policies to develop to allow the growth of the startups and innovation. That is why we are very high in the global startup ecosystem. But innovation is yet to, it is yet a desired goal to be achieved. uh, we were the pioneer state. We launched in 2015 a policy for startups, wherein we provided prototype assistance, prototype making, I mean seed funding for prototypes at early stage of the startups. We also provided for a year sustenance allowance to the startups. We also, through this process, we also developed a very strong network of institutes which are working for the state as incubators. Most of these institutes, I mean, under this policy, we have, as of now, we have 54 uh, educational institutes and some private bodies also who are working for us as an incubator, as incubators. So we got very strong network of incubation centers. Single window digital access through Startup Gujarat portal. Sector agnostic policy, we are having this policy which supports innovation across manufacturing, textiles, chemicals, renewable energy, fintech and deep tech. Today, Gujarat has 18,000 plus DPIIT recognized startups, and overall the country has 1 lakh plus DPIIT recognized startups. We have participation from all districts of Gujarat, all tier 2 and tier 3 cities also. They are not working in isolation, they are integrating with the traditional industries. We are seeing real impact in sustainable manufacturing, clean energy, automation and logistics, supply chain innovation. And the next phase, we are looking at moving from the incubation to scaling and global competitiveness, strengthening industry startup collaboration, supporting climate aligned and technology driven innovation, creating a more seamless ecosystem across institutions, and evolving government's role into an enabler of market access and real world deployment opportunities. Uh, as today's theme was powering India's next gen engine, growth engine, innovation, industry, and sustainability, that perfectly captures this direction. Platforms like this seminar are important to connect policy, industries, entrepreneurs. uh, on this occasion, while we conclude this session on behalf of the government of Gujarat, I extend my sincere thanks to all speakers, organizers, participants, startups, mentors, and all those who have made this seminar successful seminar all throughout, started from 2:30 p.m. to 5:05 p.m. All these whatever hours were allowed to us were successfully and fruitfully utilized. I think all 70% of this population audience is still there. So thank you all of you. With this I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you to each and everyone present in this room, all startup enthusiasts, speakers, panelists. Thank you for being here and being such an engaged audience. I'd now like to invite Mr. Pranav Pandya to come and give a token of appreciation to our very beloved Bharat sir. The host, yes, the host also needs some token of appreciation for creating such a good event. Huh. Uh, but before everyone leaves, I want all speakers to be here together on the stage for one group photograph.
I'll request Pranabhai to give momentum to Tejasri also. She has done wonderful anchoring, not this first time, but so many times for all our occasions, all our events. She has been very instrumental as far as conducting the events. Thank you, Tejasri. Thank you, Pranabhai.